In their version of TikTok, if you're under 14 years old, they show you science experiments you can do at home, museum exhibits, patriotism videos, and educational videos. And they also limit it to only 40 minutes per day. Now, they don't ship that version of TikTok to the rest of the world. So it's almost like they recognize that technology is influencing kids' development, and they make their domestic version a spinach version of TikTok, while they ship the opium version to the rest of the world.
So listening to that, it's easy to understand why there are growing calls to crack down on TikTok, the popular social media platform controlled by China. Some lawmakers want it banned in the U.S., calling it a major threat to national security. Our next guest agrees, FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr. Why do you think we should ban TikTok?
Yeah, I think it's a very smart move. At the end of the day, TikTok is China's digital fentanyl. A lot of people look at TikTok and they think it's just a fun application for sharing dance videos or other funny videos, but that's just the sheep's clothing. Underneath of it, it operates as a very sophisticated surveillance app. Again, it's not the videos, but it's pulling everything from search and browsing history, potentially keystroke patterns, biometrics, including face prints and voice prints. And up to now, we've been told by TikTok officials, don't worry, all this is stored in the U.S. or stored outside of China. But this summer, there was a blockbuster story that said internal communications from TikTok showed that everything is seen back in China. And that's a big risk for, 4 or 5 different reasons, including espionage and other activity. And really, every week, there's a new shoe that drops in this story. There's another report that officials in ByteDance, the parent in Beijing, are attempting to surveil the location of specific Americans through this application. So there's real serious dangers here.
So in that 60 Minutes clip, you saw that China only allows people to be on TikTok for 40 minutes a day. So I recently read in the Washington Post that some people, mostly younger girls, women, teenagers, are on the TikTok app for over 8 hours a day. And I just wonder, how then do you ban it if, as my friend says, the world is run by teenage girls?
Look, it's to your point, the application, the version of it that is shown in China is very, very different than the one here. And here, they're doing things like displaying the blackout challenge specifically to a 10-year-old girl. This was alleged in a court case, and that girl ended up strangling herself to death. So we're seeing very different content. So the process right now is this is at the Treasury Department, the Biden administration's Treasury Department, a process called CFIUS, Committee on Foreign Investment. And they've been for a year or so now looking at whether they can find a path forward to allow TikTok to continue to operate consistent with national security. And my view is, given the lack of trust that we have right now in TikTok, that this is a basic IQ test for the administration, that I don't see a path forward technically where we can assure ourselves that the data isn't going to flow back to China, and similarly, that they're not going to use the algorithm for foreign influence campaigns here. So I agree with Senator Rubio, with Gallagher, and it's bipartisan. Mark Warner, Democrat leader of the Senate Intel Committee, has said that it is TikTok that scares the dickens out of them.
And yet there are a lot of people that are using it to try to influence politics here in the United States as well. And so I wonder if there will be reluctance, not just from the teenage girl contingent, but from people who say, well, look, it's free speech. We should allow people to make their own decisions. What do you think of that?
The interesting thing to me is when you have all these politicians on TikTok, if you ask them, do you put it on your phone, do you put it on your device, they say, oh, of course not. We use burner devices. We send it to other phones to post it. And I think that's an admission right there. If you're not willing to have it, for instance, in the White House, which is the case, then I think it's very concerning that you're on it and then encouraging other people to be on it without using burner devices and all those other special protections that you deem necessary for yourself.
And my last question, quick one, how urgent is this and how quickly might there be a decision?
Well, some people have said the window for action is after the election, before the next Congress. So I think we are pretty close here within the next few weeks, potentially, of seeing a final decision from the Treasury Department. Again, it seems like there's internal dispute right now. The number 2 at DOJ reportedly has said that she does not believe that the preliminary deal that's in place right now is tough enough on China. And I think she's probably right.
Brendan Carr, stay in touch with us. This is a big issue. We want to keep you on the real phone, not the burner one. Yep.